Hey, in this video we're going to learn a lot more about these wonderful if statement things, so let's get on and do it by example. Firstly, I want to explain a little bit about indentation. So this start function, every single statement within the start function is indented by the same amount. It's 4 spaces, but actually don't use spaces, please, use a tab. So there's a tab, it just happens to be 4 characters, in front of absolutely everything. So that indicates that all these things are inside the start function. So let's look at the update function. In the update function, all of these statements are at that level of indentation as well. See how easy it is for the I to follow. Similarly, inside the if statement, all of its statements that it's going to run inside the code block, inside the curly brackets, will also be at this level of indentation. So to give you an example, I'm going to print and then example. Okay, now because I want to be consistent, I'm going to take that space away. So let's just save that. What's it going to give when I push key down now? Think about what it's going to give in the console. Okay, let's have a look and see what happens. When I push key down, what do we get? Down arrow pressed. When I push key up, what do I get? Up arrow pressed and example. Hope that makes sense. If you're on collapse mode, you're going to get something slightly different when you continue to press keys, because what it's going to do is it's going to just layer the same things on top of each other. So every time it logs the same thing, it just increments the number, as previously explained. All right, fantastic. So that explains what indentation does. Any other statements we put inside this if statement, we would put at this level of indentation. Cool. I'm going to get rid of that example line now for you. All right, so here's a simple challenge for you then. We want to add a third if statement which responds to the enter key and logs the words I1 to the console. Third if statement responding to the enter key and logs the word I1. Go ahead and do that now, please. Okay, so this is how I'm doing it. I'm copying what's there. I am going to guess that it's keycode.enter. Don't think it is because it's come up in red. So I'm going to try one other thing by hacking away until I go and look at the docs. I'm going to try enter like that. It's looking promising. Let's try it because I haven't got anything gone red. Okay, so I just want it to say I1. Okay, now let's save and try it. See if we got the right key code. Play. Input name key code, what's it saying? Let's pause, click on the error, and you can expand out the window if you want. Key enter is unknown. Okay, it doesn't understand enter, so we've got to go and find out what the enter key code is. So a few ways of doing it. May as well stay in the safety of the Unity docs for a minute. So I'm going to go input.get key down. I'm going to go command and apostrophe or control and apostrophe on a PC. It's just the way of looking up the docs for the currently selected word. Go into input.get key down and let's see if we can find ourselves a list of all of the key codes. Here we go, key code here. Now, do we have enter somewhere? I'm going to do an in-page search in my browser for keypad enter. That's possible. We could use keypad enter. I think I really mean return, so you've got to be careful about your keyboard. You've got enter and return, and they're 2 different keys. I really mean return, so I'm gonna use return. Here you go. And what is that? It's keycode.return. All right, so that's a typical thing you're going to go off and do, is have a little nosy and find out what you should be using. And I think what you should be using is keycode.return like that. So let's just save and test. Now if I push enter or return, it says I1, perfect, and then it keeps logging I1 every time I hit it. Well, that's great. All right, so we can go up and down. Oh, if I'm clicked in the game window, remember, up arrow pressed, down arrow pressed, I1 if you hit return. Good, 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 good. Okay, so the only other thing that's not fantastic here is that if I was to push 2 keys at the same time, like up and down, look what it does. It logs both up and down at the same time, or down and return. And actually, I want it to only log 1 key. So the way we're going to do that is use something called an else if. So currently we're doing this if, and then it immediately checks the next condition. And if if the down key, the up arrow key rather, is still down when I push the down arrow key, then it's going to do both of those things. I want it to exclusively check to see which of the keys is pressed, not all of them. And the way that we do this is we just say I put else here, and then I delete back, so that it says else if like that. Okay, that's the format. Let's just do it again. Else, okay, and then the same for the return key. Now, it's only very subtly different behavior. Let's save and look at it. Should still operate in the same way, up and down and return. But if you do up and down at the same time, it'll just pick whichever one you pushed first most of the time. it depends how fast the frame rate is actually. It may actually, your key may be down for 2 frames, in which case it is actually still going to log both, but generally you'll get one or the other. Okay, so that's just an introduction really. The main purpose of this is an introduction to the else if statement. So that's it. Now hopefully you understand a lot more about if statements. Not a huge amount more you ever need to know about them, by the way. So congratulations, see you soon.